Good evening, and welcome back to PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. It's Wednesday, May 17th, 2023, and it looks like the markets were they explosive today? Yeah, they were kind of explosive today to the upside. Um, we've had some obvious back and forth, and I'm going to tell you, we're not out of the woods yet. Really, I've drawn this a few times, but let's do it anyway. That's the top of the most recent candle. So I'm going to call that this 100% line and start back here and draw this box. So that box right there, when we break out to the upside or we break out to the downside, we'll see fireworks. In the meantime, we are thrashing back and forth inside that box. So I'd say we got more of an indication today that we're going up. We got a buy arrow on the True Momo indicator. By the way, I don't know if I got into this the other day, but I took the True Momo indicator and I added in the uh, Bollinger Band and Keltner channel squeeze, and really all I did was show the momentum of the squeeze, which a lot of people use. And but I like my True Momentum indicator, True Momo actually. It's got other stuff that ties to momentum, but it really goes from green to red. So like through this whole move, if you can see my crosshairs on the right hand side, um, through the whole move 4.6 to 4.12, the squeeze indicator was actually dark blue, which just means it's losing momentum, while the True Momo indicator was still green and going up. And we didn't really lose it until we got red and blue together over here on 421 or thereabouts. So I think it holds you in a trade longer, and it's not the end of the world if you just lived off of the squeeze or if you lived off of the True Momo indicator by itself. But jamming them together helped me out, so that's why I did it. Like right now, we got a buy signal on the True Momo indicator, but we've had yellow momentum on the squeeze indicator. So um, and I talked about it last night. It's like, well, that's propping up price. We can see the momentum is not as negative as it felt in some of those days. So that's all there is to it. It's not any more complicated than that. So over here on the left hand side, the SPX was up 48.87 points today, and that's 1.19%. The Dow was up 408 points today, and that's 1.24%. And you can see it's still actually bearish looking here on this chart. But we do have the squeeze momentum going up again. We just don't have the confirmation of the True Momo indicator. Now we look at the Russell. It was obviously up today. It doesn't give me the percentage, but oh well, you can see it was up, and I think it was over obviously 1%. And we have a buy signal on the True Momo indicator. The NASDAQ is cooking right along, and the futures all kind of, I shouldn't say kind of follow. They do follow, and apparently I'm having a lot of technical issues in my life today. Telephones, CarPlay in my vehicle, and all sorts of garbage. So right now it's doing it again here. But anyways, the futures, even though they show what's going on for really leading into tomorrow, which is a little bit of down action, you can see they have the same movement today. So this is a 100% line, and it's also because it's this bright blue line. That is the at least 52-week high, which is what I have painted on there. It's an automatic thing I built, but um, just because a 52-week high, if we're breaching the 52-week high, that it's not the all-time high, but that's just it's a good idea to it's bullish to get to there, and if you like bullishness, then it's a good idea. So there you go. The transports today, yeah, they're still pretty negative. They popped higher, but I mean they're up by 2.16%. We've really got to get this up and going. You can see actually that's the high water mark for the way up here. It's got a lot of room to move if it wants to get up and going, and if all the markets want to go higher, which you know, uh, who knows when it's going to happen, but sure looks like it's got a lot of room. It's got to get up and going. It's got to catch up at this point. Oil, oil's throwing a true Momo buy indicator on the or buy signal on the daily, and it does have bullish momentum on the squeeze, but not on the true Momo on the weekly. So we've talked about this. Is this the real bottom? Following it, so we basically had a double bottom situation. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We could bounce off of this. This is a short-term buy signal, but I sure wouldn't buy it without confirmation on the weekly, which is obviously not here yet. All right, that's enough really looking at that. Let's look at the bullish percent indexes on stockcharts.com. The industrials actually went lower today. Isn't that interesting? I mean, that's a fair move, 6.67%. I don't know what the news was that maybe moved the markets back to the positive, but maybe it's news of this debt ceiling. I don't know. But, sorry, that was the NYA, and it moved up by 0.73%. The transports moved up by 12.5%. The NASDAQ up by 3.17%. Now, let's look at that because it's at 38.35. It has to get to 42 for a 3-box reversal. So we've got quite a ways to go. Not that you can't get that pretty quick. If it's this thing popped by 12%, you'd be there and then some. So the SPX up by 0.79%, and the OEX did not move today, and the NDX tacked on a new green X. So this thing's in a point and figure sell signal, and if it just keeps trudging along and gets up here past the 70 level, then we'd be in a point and figure buy signal situation. And that thing went up by 5.17% today. So like I say, we're not out of the woods yet. In fact, when I was talking about it here with the S&P 500, I could almost see a triangle pattern here, and if you wanted me to draw that in for you, I could do that. Triangles are an interesting little. I like to go from the top of the wick or the top of the candle and not the wick to the actual price action, not the intraday price action. The kind of the closing price or the opening price to the closing price. It's a bit of a preference from what I've picked up in the markets, so I'll pick this one down here because it's the one that gets closest. So really, the resolution of a triangle is usually at the apex or before the apex. So are we going to get a breakout tomorrow of this to the upside? If this indicator comes true, and that's the direction it appears to be going. We should run into some resistance at the 100 level, but I could almost make the argument we already have. So, anyways, more to come. That'll be really interesting. And then, okay, and last but not least, here we'll go through our automatic trading systems. So, start here with the Dow futures. This is the quarterly contract, and we got a nice pop back up today. This is what it looks like on a 6-month time frame. The Russell, it looks exactly the same as yesterday, so I pulled these up because I wanted to show it. Literally, the last time it traded was 516. So you can see on 515 we had a $7,000 $7,000 move to the good, and then on 516 we had $855 and $900 to the bad. And you can see that right there. So there was the good one, and there was the bad one, and then we didn't have any trades today. So the whole thing about an algorithm trading system like this is if no trades triggered, then you're not in, you're not out, you're just flat for the day, which is remarkable because our algorithm trades for basically 5 hours of the 6.5 hour day. So this is the NASDAQ futures, and we got a little pop today. Nothing to write home about yet. We've been sideways for a bit here to down, and then we got a nice pop back up for just to get hopefully something going again. So, and this is what it looks like on a 6-month basis. So that's what I got for you guys. Hope everybody's having a good time trading. Take care, good trading, and have a great evening.